All right, everybody, Terrence Pop here with another episode that is...
Live from the Lair!
No, it's pre-recorded. I just like saying that.
No shit.
All right, today I'm going to be covering some emails. One of them is a pretty juicy hate mail from the past.
I hate you with every inch of my body.
I dug it up because it was different from the other ones, and I received the email while we were, Blake and I were working on other areas of interest.
You want an offer you can't refuse?
Redonkulas swag is back in full swing on Fourth Wall. With more designs than ever before and new merch going on sale every month, there's never been a better time to show your love for the regiment. After all, variety is the spice of life, and it's good to have a wide selection.
Sometimes it's a spread brown eye kind of night, sometimes it's girl on girl time.
Click on the link tree in the description or scan the QR code on the screen and you can pop in.
Ha! Gay!
To see our fun designs on everything from shirts to mugs to stickers to pint glasses, patches, laptop sleeves, hats, and more. Because everyone needs new clothes for the gay cruise, right? Just make sure you bring a straight friend to cover your six.
Okay, so let's just dive into it. This stuff it's pretty funny. The first one here is, I am writing to you today because I am a 28-year-old female from California. 28 from California. All right, so I am single, but not single by choice, and have been dumped 3 times since I finished college. So you probably finished college between 22 and 24. Let's say 23. So in the past, 8 years, she's been dumped 3 times. Probably been pumped and dumped a few times in between that, because that's incredibly common. But that's neither here
nor there.
Okay. The longest relationship lasted 3 years, but I was told the risk was not worth it when I suggested getting married.
No shit.
Which is totally true. I think you and channels like yours are devastating the dating and marriage scene. All right, so I'm just going to replace marriage with mirage because that's really what it is. Men fall in love, women fall in business, and the minute you can't provide income for said business, they are gone. I've talked to thousands of guys since 2009 where that happened and they got
divorced.
So,
Wah.
let's see. I am at what you guys call the epiphany stage now because my ability to have children is rapidly
Closing.
All right, so she's feeling the wall coming on here. My mother had all 3 of my siblings by the time she was 32, and after that, she was told by the doctor she was infertile due to hormones and issues with ovarian cysts. That's very common. And in today's day and age, the hormone imbalances are not just affecting men and their testosterone. It is screwing with men and women at almost the same rate. Okay, this has me terrified that I, like my mother, will be out of the baby business by 32 as well. Can you explain to me why men have given up on marriage and dating as well? Signed, Stephanie.
Buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
All right, Steph, where do you want me to start? Okay, let's start with half of first marriages will end in divorce. 80% of the time, that divorce will be filed by the woman. And 80% of that time, the man will be caught completely off guard. The woman will get sole custody of any children 85% of the time, and through my research, and I looked into this, of that, 15% of the time where the man does get custody of the kids, 7% of that is because the mother didn't show up in court. So if you back that out, it's 93% of the time the woman gets custody of the kids.
Ty, I would like you to crunch those numbers again.
It's programmed. There's no such thing
Just crunch them.
And the man gets screwed. Men pay a majority of alimony and child support and daycare and medical expenses. And it is very common for a man shortly after divorce to be rendered homeless. How do I know this? It happened to me, and while I was living out of my car, I talked to 3 or 4 dozen guys who were in the same boat. A couple of them I met at Burger King or McDonald's because we're ordering dinner off of the dinner menu at the drive-through. All right, now let's just go to relationships because that's what they are. All right, most of the women in the West now have turned into only if and for me's, meaning they'll only date you only if you provide some kind of benefit to them. You pay their bills, you take them out to dinner, you entertain them, you jump around like a dancing monkey, and at the end they get friend zoned or dumped for something better. That happens on the regular. And granted, I'm 57 now, or 57, and I've watched 2-3 generations of men just get destroyed in divorce court, and I didn't really pay it much heed until it happened to me. I got divorced, lost my kids, lost the house, all of my savings. Hell, my ex-wife even murdered my dog. The women in the West are some heartless, narcissistic, selfish bitches. The men have woken up to it. Now, I am sorry you're 28 and you're single and you can't seem to find a guy that's going to stick around, but you might have to do some self-reflection. Maybe you should look at your past track record because, you can move to a new city, you can change to a new Facebook page, you can do whatever you want to do to hide from your past. But men have a knack of finding that shit out. Now, most of the ladies today out there, and when I say most, it's 51 to 99%, have, 10 to 15 bodies stacked up already.
Hey, try not to suck any dick on the way through the parking lot.
Which means, more than likely, once you get to that number of dicks ran through you, your chances of staying in a long-term committed relationship drop into the high teens, low 20 percentile.
Emotional damage.
So you're asking a man to fork out a minimum of $30K to get murdered. Let's call it murdered because that's what happens. Invite all of his friends and family. Stand in front of all of them and God and say he'll take care of you till death do us part. And his reward is a big fat stab in the back from the entire culture, civilization, his exes, and sometimes even his very own children. So, it's not me. I'm just telling guys out there the truth in a funny way so it sticks. Because a lot of guys watch my content. Once I get them laughing, I know I'm flipping switches and they're thinking me. So, Steph, sorry, not sorry, move along. Next but not least. All right, this is more of advice one here. My son is 24 and still living in my basement. Okay, I myself love living in basements. I've basically lived in basements for most of my 20s while I wasn't on active duty. I built my own furniture out of plywood and 2x4s. It is what it is. I just found it more comfortable down there, and I liked it. So I don't think that's weird at all. He went to 1 year of college and just quit. His reason was the classes he was taking were complete bullshit and not worth the money.
Bullshit.
He's absolutely correct, because if you go to any college website and look at their particular degrees they offer, you will see 2/3 of them are not, or 2/3 of the classes are absolute bullshit and completely unnecessary. Especially when you're forking out, $150 to $500 per credit hour just to register for these classes. And some of these schools charge even more than that. And if you live on campus, you're literally asking for to get crushed by student loans.
Can't be correct. It is correct.
Because you didn't say in your email you were paying for it. So it sounds to me like he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't want to waste his money, and he said fuck it, which I really can't fault him for. Maybe you can get him to go to a trade school, and that might turn him around. I would highly suggest HVAC or electrician. Not a fan of pipe fitter because that's plumbing and you're dealing with defecation, vomit, piss. There's a whole bunch of rancid smells in that profession.
Oh, God. Les, that's not good.
This is a pretty one.
But they do provide a good income, so it is what it is. Okay. He is not dating, and when I question him about it, he uses the divorce from his father as an excuse
Not to pursue women.
Wow. What a slap in the face to you. You set a prime example for him not to get married when you got divorced. What is that indirectly telling us all? You ran his father through the ringer, probably interfered with the relationship he had with his father, were a cantankerous cunt. You can add all the labels you want in there, but yeah, that's 100% on you. Because guess what? You set the example for your children. And from him living in the basement and, withdrawing from the world, more than likely you separated him from his father unduly, or it was unjust, and there's some kind of scar going on in there that may or may not ever heal. He might just have to, build a bridge around it or over it or whatever to deal with that hole in his heart that you created. He does work at a local restaurant, and he doesn't even work full time. He works 30 to 38 hours per week, and when not working, he is home in the basement, gaming on his console or computer playing video games. I am at a loss at how to get him off of his ass. Do you have any suggestions? Signed, Amy. Well, Amy,
I'll explain it so even you can understand. My colleagues will assist.
in current year, what actually is going to motivate him? Because you certainly can't do it. And, sounding from the way this was worded, his father is probably not in the picture and he can't do it. So your only choice is to evict him from the property, and perhaps reality will slap him in the face, get him doing something full time. Maybe that'll light a fire under his ass to seek his excellence. But let's just face it, the men of today need to ask some crucial questions of the civilization they're inhabiting. And that main question is this: what is in it for me? Really, what's in it for me? The civilization is asking these men to risk their lives, their health, protect, build, and maintain the civilization, and then it demonizes them. The women that, they used to chase happily and wholeheartedly, they don't anymore because there's a toxic fucking dick trap now.
What's in the box?
It is, plain and simple. So, maybe he just needs to get put out of the house and told figure it out, and perhaps he will. Now, back in the day, I would highly recommend that you tell him to join the military when you throw him out, or give him the ultimatum: join the military or you're out on the street. But in today's day and age, in good conscience, I cannot recommend anyone join the military at this time. Mainly because it has turned into a woke clusterfuck, and there's no guarantee that the fixes that are in place that are being done by this administration are going to last and pass the test of time. So I can't recommend that. So Amy, you're out of luck. I don't know what to tell you. Winning. All right, this last one, gentlemen, you're going to enjoy this. This is actually a hate mail, and it's from a middle-aged woman who got divorced. And the reason I'm reading this one is it's not like the rest of them. So here we go. All right, this woman's name is Melissa. She didn't give her last name, and I'm not going to disclose the email address. I am a divorced female, aged 41. While I was married for 17 years, my husband watched your YouTube channel religiously 2 to 3 times a week. And needless to say, I blame you, and I hate your guts. So she hates my guts because she got divorced. And the only thing I did was run a YouTube channel where I tell the truth, use facts, logic, reason, and comedy to educate the men out there. All right? And she's blaming me for it. I don't know what to tell you there, Melissa, but cry me a river, build a bridge, and get the fuck over it. Okay. Let's see. When I told my husband,
I'm not happy. Not happy.
all he said was, okay, I can't make you happy. You have to make yourself happy. He refused counseling and said, I quote, he said he quoted me. He said counseling is nothing but emotional concentration camp that he would have to pay for. I believe the only time I've really said that in public was at the 2019 ICMI meeting in Chicago, Illinois. And that's where a bunch of men's rights guys got together and we talked about a bunch of crap. And I gave a couple of lectures. And that was something I said. So so I know exactly what she probably did. She probably approached him and said, I'm very unhappy. And she was expecting him to be like, oh no, I'm going to jump through all of these hoops to make you happy because happy wife, happy life. And, you know, my teachings and what I tell the men out there is don't fall for that bullshit. That is male slavery talk. And it's not worth it. Don't do it. Okay, here we go. He fought me tooth and nail during the divorce process and got to keep the house while I got over half of his 401k. Okay, so that's probably a good chunk of money. I'm just saying. She didn't get all of it, but he probably took a substantial hit. And you want to know why divorce is so expensive? Because it's goddamn worth it. Okay, his attorney got him 1 full week and 2 weekends and half the summer with our children, and I got screwed out of my much-deserved child support. Yeah! All right, so if you got 2 weekends and 1 full week, it's 7 days for a full week and 2 weekends. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10. He's getting 11 days a month. It's almost half the time. That's a pretty good deal. Good on him. Hopefully he used my administrative violence to make that happen. And you see how she said my deserved child support. So when women use that word deserve when they're talking like this, they're entitled, they're bitter, and they think that their spouse or former spouse owes them something, which they don't. All right, so chances are she gave him the I'm not happy speech. He said what he said. She filed for divorce thinking she was going to drop this nuclear bomb on his life, and he was able to weasel his way out of it. That doesn't happen that often, but I am glad that it did. Okay, after I left, he carried on like I never mattered, and is now has a live-in girlfriend who is 13 years younger than I am.
Let's pretend that's not true.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is comedy gold, man. Comedy gold. All right, let's see. I have a good job and make damn good money. So, damn good money. That's probably why she's not receiving any child support. And even if she was, it would not be that much because he's almost at 50-50. But I have not been able to recover as fast as he has. I am at a loss why you have not been canceled yet because your rhetoric you are using is disgusting and hateful. Plus, most of what you say are lies or completely fabricated. Signed, Melissa. Oh, all right, so it's all fabricated.
Sure, Jan.
All right, so I already covered the statistics for the divorces, but let's see what we could do here and cover some of these. All right, So, as you can see here, this is divorce statistics in 2025. Latest U.S. data. All right, there are over 900,000 divorces in the U.S. yearly, with over 2 million marriages. So that's almost half. Okay, in the U.S. there is one divorce every 30 seconds, or 108 per hour, and 2,600 per day. 42 to 45% of all first marriages end in divorce. 70% of all divorces in the U.S. are initiated by women. I would say that's 80%, and it goes up to 90% if you're college educated. Chances are, if you're making damn good money, you are college educated. So I'm going to say that it was more than likely you who filed for the divorce. The average duration of a marriage ends in divorce is 13 years. That's the second review. Divorces usually happen around these time windows: 7, 13, 21, and 24 years. So he made it past the second review, but didn't make it past the third review. All right, the average age for people going through divorce is 41 years old. Oh, savage beatdown. I don't know if this just happened when you were 41 or if you got divorced a couple years sooner. You didn't tell me when you got married or anything like that. So, sorry. The average cost of a divorce in the U.S. is $19,500 per couple. So $30,000 for marriage, $20,000 for divorce. You just ran through 50 G's for nothing. Okay, lack of commitment, 73%, constant arguing, or the top reasons for divorce. So lack of commitment was 73% of the time, and constant arguing 55% of the time. And 1 in 3 divorced custodial parents doesn't receive child support payments. Okay, so listen, for you to say that all of the stuff I say is fabricated, Melissa, is a complete bullshit.
You're a liar, and you will spend an eternity on this ship.
If you look at my videos, I always put the sources either in the low bar, or you can find them under the videos on the website redonkulas.com. And listen, I am glad I was able to get in front of your now ex-husband and train him or teach him some tricks of the trade.
In this process, we see skilled hands transforming raw materials into intricate pieces.
Some truths about women's nature. And it sounds to me like when you pulled the I'm not happy card, he was not surprised, nor did he care. And the reason he fought you tooth and nail in court is simply this. I tell every dude, as soon as you are served divorce papers, your soon-to-be ex-wife is no longer the woman you fell in love with. She is your enemy, and she is to be treated with all of the rights and privileges that title conveys.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Meaning, you take it to the wire. You use administrative violence. You do whatever you got to do to win, because the entire system is stacked against you. And I am glad he got a really good settlement in regards to time with his children. He probably wasn't that mad about the money, because men can make more money. That's just the way we think. I've lost 2 fortunes in my life thus far. It just is what it is. That's how life goes. And it sounds to me like he's like, fuck it. I got my kids. I'll be okay. And there you go. Now, as regards to blaming me or hating me for anything that I do here on the internet, all I'm doing is telling the men the truth, running them through the stats, doing the math, trying to apply logic, reason to a man's reasoning mind, because men, we drop out of the box pre-programmed to be problem solvers. And I'm just giving the information to solve their own problems. All right, gentlemen, that's it for today with the mail. That last one's a good one. I love hate mail, and so should you.
Winning.
I will talk to you guys later.